My faith is rooted in stillness. Shape my silence. Ooh, speak to me, Lord. Speak to me, Lord. I am ready to hear your voice. Welcome to SoulWork Sanctuary, a pause in your day, a breath of God's presence, a moment to tend to the place that connects with the one who created us, a commitment to do what Reverend Dr. Katie Cannon called the work your soul must have. I'm Reverend Dr. Patrice Jerido, writer, theologian, and spiritual director, and I'll be your companion on the journey. Together, let's step inside the sanctuary. This is Soul Work. Let's begin. I remember the day that I met Reverend Dr. Katie Cannon. She was seated at the front of the chapel at Princeton Theological Seminary, chatting quietly with someone. She looked up at the group of us who had just entered the space. One by one, we went to pay our respects to a trailblazer, a woman who had carved out a pathway for those of us who dared to call ourselves womanists. As I waited my turn, I thought back to the first time I heard her name. I was an undergraduate student at the University of Georgia, completing my second degree in psychology. Dr. Laylie Phillips, now Dr. Laylie Maparan, introduced us to Cannon's work as she taught us about all the women who answered Alice Walker's call to take seriously the voice and presence of Black women. At that time, I wrestled with Walker's definition in the context of psychology. It never occurred to me that one day I would wrestle with the same definition as a theologian. Fast forward over 20 years later, Reverend Dr. Cannon was looking me in the eye and asking her famous question, "What is the work your soul must have?" In that moment, I knew I had come full circle. It was time to get to work in a way I had not done before, to take all that God had given me, the power of words and a love of contemplative spirituality, and give it back in service to Black women, and by extension to all women, and by extension to the world. It is in this vein that I have chosen to rename this podcast Soul Work Sanctuary. While I continue to offer care for your soul, the shift in name means something important. I expect you to join me in the work. I'll still show up as your companion on the journey, but it's your journey. My task is simply to offer bits and pieces along the ancient pathway to help you do the work your soul must have.